remember correctly, a couple months ago, again, we had that debate on Marvel versus DC. The last time Brian wasn't on, and we, nerded out. I did see your snap last night. You're almost done your rewatch again.
I am. I finished. So funny story. So I started Endgame last night, and I wanted to sit the entire way through. And sorry, my brother just tried calling me on my phone. Started vibrating. I'm like, what is going on? My brother was trying to call me. I'll call him later. And then so I started watching it last night, and then before I know it, because long weekend, I ended up finishing it this morning early this morning, because I had about like an hour and a half left. I think I woke up at like 1 or 12:30 or 1. And I just finished it this morning and then fell back asleep. So it worked out.
I am almost done on my rewatches of animated DC stuff, though. I got 2 more to watch, and then I'll get you that list.
Yeah, no, I'd be interested in watching that.
But
what I still need to finish, though.
Yes, you do.
It's Batman Begins. Batman Beyond. Sorry, wrong one.
I did see something today, though, even though it was posted like a week ago. Apparently, Batman Beyond's coming back.
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
We thought about it if it was going to or not, but I saw like this site. It was like some comic book site, I guess, that kind of looks at that, and they said,
"Yeah,
Batman Begins." Or Batman. I did the same thing.
You did too. Yes, I'm not alone.
That fits the name. But it said that Batman Beyond was back, long as with all the other animated stuff. It seems like DC is kind of going back to the mid to late 90s to early 2000s with their like animated TV stuff. Because it sounds like they're going to do another recreation of Justice League, their animated show, and then Batman animated series. There's going to be another one that's coming out, and now
love it.
Potentially another
Batman Beyond.
Yes, I hope it's the same people, same
that would be
actors
cool.
and stuff.
I would love that. I really got to pick up on because season 2 is so long, but it's worth it though. Like, cause it's at least 20, 24 episodes,
something like that.
Yeah,
compared to the first season, the third season, like actually no, the third season's like 15, but first season
really, the first season is like 8 to 10.
I know it's not a lot.
After that, I don't know, but anyway, so yeah, we'll be. I gotta catch up with that. But so what I'm gonna do, once I got Spider-Man: Far From Home, and then here's something that I have been debating. I want to ask a couple of our friends who I know are big time Marvel people, and if they've seen the show Wanda Vision or not. I personally have not. From the beginning, I have always because I remember even from the trailers, just like it looks like just like one giant sitcom. It looks really dumb. And if I want to do the true MCU rewatch, that is technically yes and no, because you would have to include like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I think there's another show, but I'm not doing that. So if after Far From Home, if I were to continue anything, it would be possibly watch WandaVision and then rewatch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And then Loki's obviously going on right now. They air their episodes every Wednesday, which I'm excited about. And it's pretty interesting. It's very good though. But so what I am debating on doing is watching WandaVision. Have you seen the whole series so far or no?
I haven't seen it either.
Okay. Well,
I've seen little bits and pieces of it because my dad was watching it, but I never really sat down to watch it.
I'll ask Matt on what his thoughts are, because I understand it's not a sitcom the whole time. I just think it's a dumb idea. I said, this is just my opinion. It doesn't intrigue me. And then I'll
be honest, I'm kind of that way when they got into the TV era. Even Falcon and Winter Soldier, I wasn't interested in. Loki, I'm vaguely interested, but not really. Because to me, I thought, even going before that, I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's going to be a movie. Because for some of these, I thought, why not just make the movie out of it? It just seems like you're pretty much telling the same story, but you're just dragging it out more.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. For Falcon the Winter Soldier, there's a couple episodes here and there. I'm like, yeah,
and I get
I
why
don't know
they're
where you're
doing that
going with this.
because
Yeah.
With Disney Plus and everything, because of how well
Right.
Mandalorian has done and all those shows.
And that's really the Mandalorian has really kicked off all these shows and these spin-off shows. I think that was the true inspiration behind all these shows, because if you don't have the Mandalorian to kick things off with, you wouldn't have all these other shows. And Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, all those other directors, they did such a phenomenal job that the reason, inspiration behind those episodes and that series, has inspired other people to make other spin-off shows, which I think is a cool idea.
Also, I feel like because of how poorly, and we've had, again, if you want to go back to past podcasts with our friend Matt, we had that discussion of the Star Wars sagas, how kind of disappointed a lot of people were with the last era, last 3 or whatever. I feel like Mandalorian kind of brought people back into Star Wars.
Easily, 100%. Now I'll put it this way. Growing up, it was always Star Wars for me, big time, no doubt. And then Marvel kicked in, and I was still,
which is why it makes sense
a pretty big Marvel fan,
because Marvel's a little more successful in their movies, so maybe they can break out and do it that way too.
Yeah, I got to be a pretty big Marvel fan throughout over the several years and everything, but then Star Wars was always there. And then after the kept going out, really, because it was Rogue One, I think, was the last good Star Wars movie that came out. And Solo wasn't bad.
Solo wasn't terrible, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
It had its moments.
It had its moments. I went into it with low expectations, came out pretty surprised and happy. Mm-hmm. So it was good. But other than that, Rogue One, at least in my opinion, I know a lot of people don't like it. I don't know why, but I think that's the last true good Star Wars movie made.
Probably, yeah.
Force Awakens came out before that, but at first I saw it and I thought, oh man, this is awesome. And then the more I really
times, maybe not.
Well, because everyone, brings out the biggest point right away, literally copying and pasting A New Hope, because they went the same with the safe bet of, this is, they even had, they had Star Killer bases like twice as big as the Death Star. And it's like, all right, great. And they even make a reference to that. It's in the actual movie, it's another Death Star. I'm like, yeah, but that's why. I like the idea on a lot of their ideas on where they went with that, but it's like they basically recreated a Darth Vader with Kylo Ren.
What quote came into my mind?
Yeah,
it's Family Guy, but parroting Misery, and it's where Stewie is talking about standing up in the middle of the theater saying, "No, you just blew it up on the other side of the world." I just so happened to bet on the other side of the world.
Yeah, exactly. But there's
a lot of
there's a lot, but
that one was more so,
especially after episodes 8, and especially after I saw episode 8, The Last Jedi. That just gutted me as a Star Wars fan. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. And that was, oof. And I've seen some bad movies and TV shows before, and that was by far one of the worst. And
nothing happens. Nothing happens. Like nothing really happens.
Literally half of that movie is just pointless, and at least half. But anyway, long story short, that kind of kicked me down for enjoying Star Wars as much as I did. I enjoyed the prequels very much, even Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. I thought, for me personally, I actually really enjoyed it.
A lot of people don't like those ones either.
I'll put it this way: on 1 through 6, they're towards the if I had to pick, it would probably be out of the prequels. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, easily better than the other two. 1 and 2, you could go either way for me. But between 1 and 6, 1 and 2, the first and second episodes are at the bottom. Now, if you're doing 1 through 9. That's a much different story.
Right.
1 and 2 are above 7, 8, and 9, probably.
I get that.
So they're on the lower side overall, but I still enjoy them more.
The issues with those ones is that they just kind of made it like, nostalgia reasons. Like, look, Han is back. He dies. Sorry, spoiler.
Yeah.
The most obvious,
the movie's been out for
obvious
7
death scene
years, so
ever.
not much of a spoiler.
Yeah, the most obvious death scene. Even if you haven't seen it, it's like, oh, I think Han's gonna die here.
It's actually funny because I got so into the movie at that point, it didn't even cross my mind that he was going to die there. Like, for whatever reason, it did not cross my mind at all. I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, you know what? As soon as I saw him get stabbed by Kylo Ren, I was like, oh, you know what?
Yeah,
that makes sense now. I'm like, and like, I almost did like a mini rewind in my head. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Yeah, no.
They're fighting. Yeah. He just stops because Kyler's right there. It's like, oh, come back.
Well, it wasn't that they're like fighting. They were just, talking, but like, it was funny because Tommy was sitting next to me and we talked afterwards. And he goes, dude, as soon as he walked on that bridge, I knew he was dead. Yeah. I'm like, that's a good point.
Also, to me, again, it was kind of like going back to the originals where Luke loses his hand, essentially, that kind of scene.
Yeah,
where he's going to talk Darth down essentially to kind of throw Emperor off. Yeah, exactly. But it's essentially the same thing, except Han dies.
And he doesn't get his hand.
Yes, chopped off.
By the way, the one thing I did absolutely despise about the newer movies, they basically made Rey invincible, and that pissed me off. Like, not only that, but she was an extremely quick learner, which kind of annoyed me because it's like, before you know it, like, this is a random scavenger who happens to know the Force.
Jeffrey, there's another Skywalker.
Yeah, like, what the hell is that? I'm sorry. She goes from a scavenger to somehow a Jedi to somehow a Palpatine to somehow a Skywalker.
Also, I just didn't like the story because Luke is training Han and Leia's son. He goes to the dark side. Luke freaks out and runs away.
Well, like, don't forget the point where he tries to kill him first.
Well, yeah, there's that, but
minor detail,
but so he just kind of runs away.
But yeah, it's just
he just goes to hiding. It's like, okay, see ya.
Yeah,
I tried. My dad went to the dark side. Now this dude just went to the dark side. I'm gone. See ya. I'm done.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm just gonna go voice Joker instead.
Perfect. Everyone will be happy.
I would be.
Yeah. But anyway, so when 7 through 9 really started coming out, it was just like, after episode 8, I was like, you know what, just like, it gutted me as a Star Wars fan. And to kind of go back to our original conversation, as that was just clearly a random tangent. But to Mandalorian, that really did bring me back more to an actual, more and more as a Star Wars fan. Like, there's the great animated show, The Clone Wars, on Disney Plus, and that was a phenomenal show created by Dave Filoni, who did an incredible job with that series. But The Mandalorian, that did bring me back, because at some point within the last 3-4 years or so, it's always then been Marvel, then Star Wars, not Star Wars, then Marvel, as it had always been. But ever since the last several years, and Marvel's really taken over as the dominant industry, or however you want to put it, for me.
Yes.
So yeah. So
I think we did good here in terms of achievers.
Yeah, right. That's why I got a Captain America chair.
There you go. That's America's butt right there.
I'm concerned. That's America's ass.
You make sure you hold on to this, so next time I'm keeping it.
Otherwise, Morgan's going to use it sledding.
Mm-hmm.